Hey, good morning, friends. So, Event Summon arrives with something new. So, let's see what is there. Obviously, old heroes, but some new fellows pop in. So, let's see. I can see new written on quite a few. So, let's go. We start with the first one. These are the three featured. So, let's catch the non featured ones. Yeah, that's Caitlín. She's the old hero, but okay, that's max preview, so let me remove that. A lot of people have been hammered by this max preview pulling some con jobs. So, especially in Soul Exchange, we had a complaint that somebody thought that Sobek was being offered with a costume, which is totally untrue. I think we are smart enough to know that it wasn't costume being offered. Easy to find out. So, let's look at the basic here. Caitlín, she is, I would say the numbers are fairly good because when I go to the older fellows, there's 751. These are the kind of numbers that these fellows have. 747, 803. Those are the stats. So going to Caitlín, her stats are really high. Why? There is a costume bonus. So this is quite a high costume bonus, 40% in attack, defense, and health, and mana of course stays at 5% bonus. So that has spurred up the stuff. Now what is the difference? So I'm not going to go into threadbare because these are old heroes, almost irrelevant heroes, but they have suddenly come into prominence and getting highlighted because of the costume. So let's see the difference of the costume. That's going to be my way of looking at things. Of course, this status ailment damage reduction was there in the previous one. This one is, I think, new. When this character casts a special skill, all enemies receive 472 bleed damage over 4 turns. So that's the second passive, apart from the costume bonus. So this is what was the original version. Dispels buffs, gives a whack to all, and per removes status effect, the whack increases. And look at this. So here, Dispel's buff is the same. 170% damage to all enemies is a 10% reduction. It was 20% damage incremental. It's 25 now, getting capped at 370. It was 340% earlier, and the stacks stay. I mean, that's typical of... let's get out, let's get in, and see the chick. See, is right there. So it was typical of the Slayer family thing. So yeah, that's just the same. Caster gets plus 6% mana gen, and caster recovers 30% HP per turn, which has been changed to caster gets plus 12% mana gen and increases and recovers 45 HP per turn. So that's increase in the stack. So the stacks are a little higher. And of course, the mana gen percentage goes up, which means your hero is going to be super fast quite soon. So that's the positive in this. The rest of the stuff is exactly the same, with the big boost coming to the stats from this. I will skip and move. Actually, let's go and come back in. That's the easiest. Okay, so we have Saoirse, Saoirse, whichever way you want to pronounce. So she gets a costume. Of course, the bonus is the same. She gets a bleed damage second passive. The first reduction part is still very much there. She still has a very low, despite all this. So you can imagine how low her attack numbers would have been. It's 917 with 40% boost. Wow. So factoring cut. What was she doing earlier? 315% damage to target nearby enemies, and then minus 54% defense for 3 turns. That has got a little increase of the damage, but the defense down has gone by less by minus 10%. So it's minus 44 now. This is where it's going to be the juicy part. So caster gets 3 stacks. Caster gets plus 18% mana. So that's the starting stack. And it's explained. how, and starts with 2 stacks of HP. Earlier was 2 stacks of mana and 1 stack of HP. So that's that. So still the same hero. There's a little incremental benefit from here. The bad thing is earlier the attack stats were higher, so you can actually see in the main hero. And even if you get this, you will still use the main hero, honestly. Let's be very clear. There's not much of a difference in terms of the stacking part, little extra mana, but in terms of the damage, hammer, this is going to be much higher. But if you're putting her on defense, then it's going to be this because of the defense and HP being better. That's that. I'm going to skip. Let's get out and let's get in. We catch Dark Lord. He's being praised to have been considerably improved. We'll find out. So same 40, 40, 45, which is good. You can see the impact on the stats of the costume. Curse on special skill. When this character casts special skill, all the enemies receive 473 curse damage over 4 turns, starting low and increasing. This is like that green chick. Starting low and increasing every turn. It's silly in today's heavy damage, fast-paced environment, or meta, as some people like to call it. Okay, so here the damage is a little bit on the higher side, but the juggling of numbers has happened. Damages, the defenses on the lower side. Let's look at Pulsar Strike at fast speed. 560% damage to the target. It was 550. Reduces the duration of the target and nearby enemies buffs by 2 turns. It was 1 turn earlier. So that's, I would say, a fairly good bump. Target and nearby enemies receive corrosive poison damage for 4 turns. The corrosive poison damage deals 285 poison damage and lowers the target's mana generation by 15% per turn. Okay, it was 201 and mana gen was -13. So that has gone up. Does this increase it? Let's see. So it becomes 406 with LB2 and plus 25. So yeah, that gets a jump. Damage over turn does get bumped up with the hero stats going high. So I would say no, not absolutely crazy, because the damage of 560 is nothing changed, but the stats have gone up. And with almost 1200 at base stats level, which is boosted by the costume bonus, this 560 packs a punch. And of course, the reduction of enemies buffed by 2 turns is really cool, because usually the buffs you get are 3, 4, and 5 turns, and 2 turn reduction is a good impact that this hero gives. Even though he's whacking 1, but he's impacting 3 in his rest of the stuff, which is the buff reduction and the corrosive poison and mana reduction. Mana gen ailment. So yeah, he's good, but damage is still single, and that's where I think he may not get a lot of people leveling up, but still, I mean, this boost is massive, and that's where I'm gonna leave it at. That's it. Not very extremely impressed. Let's look at Bonzo. Cool, funny name. Bonzo is a new bard hero. Wizard class, green fellow. Bard family bonus. We know solo heroes get plus 5% mana generation. So that's cool. First passive. All ballads cast by enemies only last for 1 turn. Okay, so the dance part. The second passive is all dances cast by enemies only last for 1 turn. That includes the gazelle type of dance or the opera type of dance. Looking at the stats, without any costume on this hero, you can actually see the kind of stuff that the current heroes are coming with. So that's your attack, defense, and health stat. Old drum roll at fast speed rearranges enemy positions randomly. Deals 250% damage to all enemies. So impact all, rearranges. I remember that dark element cat. She used to do that, and now this fellow does it. Okay. And impact all with the damage. Damage bypasses targets minions. So if there are heavy minions, it will get bypassed. The attack bypasses defensive buffs. So the damage will bypass the minions, and the attack bypasses defensive buffs. That's actually nice, but that is subsequently. So what will happen is the flow of the special is going to be exactly in the order it's written. So it will give some kind of an ailment to the enemies so that other allies and the next whack of Bonzo is going to bypass defensive buffs. Not the first one. First thing that this guy is going to do is rearrange enemy positions. Then the second thing he'll do is via the specials, 250% damage to all enemies with whatever situation they have. If they've got minions, minions will absorb things. Then damage bypasses targets minions. That's the ailment that will be given to the opposite side. So beware, the flow of stuff happens exactly according to the flow of the specials. That's Bonzo. I would say good, fun hero. Let's look at Astrid. What does Astrid do? So sorcerer, bard family bonus, we know what this first one. Ballad dance gets reduced. The actual dance gets reduced to 1 turn. And then that's the attack, defense, and health stats. Booming Man at average speed recovers 50% health for all allies. Okay. Each defeated ally has 40% chance to get revived with 30% HP. So impact all with the heal, impact all with the revive possibility. So we get a yellow average speed, proper healer and reviver. All allies have 20% chance to drop any received damage to 1 for 3 turns. Wow. So he gives a buff which creates this 20% possibility for any received damage to be dropped to 1 for 3 turns. Wow. This is really a good hero. Yeah. Reviver, straight jacket healer does this. So that is technically a dispel or a cleanse, whichever way you want to see. Actually, more rather a cleanse. Dispel if it is on the other side, and cleanse if there is something stopping you. So brilliant. I think in this portal, Astrid is the top pick very clearly. The damage, the last part, and again the flow will be exactly in the same order. We'll first recover 50% health, then there is a chance, 40% chance of each defeated ally to get revived with 30% HP, and then all allies will have 20%. So the revived ally will automatically get this 20% chance to drop any received damage to 1 for 3 turns. So that's how the flow of the specials are going to be. So yeah, this is a top pick hero amongst all introduced. Very, very interesting. Wow. Cool. So good luck for getting the heroes, and congratulations if you've already landed. There are quite a few older heroes in this, but what do I say? No, this chick is there, Luna. So some of the fellows are really low in terms of their stats, as you can see over here. Luna 2, of course, you have to give the maximum if you're going to use any of these heroes. So let me remove this to make it seem exactly this kind of stuff that these fellows are. So with the costume, they get a boost. I'm really amazed that she has not been offered yet in Soul Exchange. Long overdue. Okay, that's it. Cheers. Wish you a nice day ahead and see you in the next video.